Hello everybody. It's Shonda. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Shonda. I have been a business owner for over 25 years, and TupeloRose Candle Boutique is my second business. So I am here today to go over all of the things candles, all the things markets, all things business. Okay, so if that interests you, please, I encourage you to just subscribe and like this video and hang out with me whenever I post new videos. So today I just wanted to talk about 6 things that you need to be sure to ask when you are choosing or deciding on whether you're going to do a vendor market, whether you sell candles, whether you sell shoes, perfume, bath body soap, whatever it is. You could sell anything, but is every market right for your brand? Okay, so this is what you need to decide when you are looking through all of the places where you can sign up for vending. Okay, I am in the Metro Atlanta area, so if you're in a major metropolitan city like Atlanta, there are tons and tons of markets. Basically, obviously, mostly through the spring and summer months. So how do you know which markets to choose? Like, they don't give you like a trial period, right? They don't let you say, hey, yeah, come try us out for free. Your first market is free. They don't usually do that, right? No. So in my experience, here are some tips that will help you help guide you. All right. So some of the things that you need to ask, I would say the first thing that you need to ask the people who are putting the market on, what type of marketing are you doing for the event, for the festival, for your market? All right, you want to find out if they are marketing their own event, or are they relying solely on the vendors to push the marketing to bring the customers in. The goal for you doing markets is to do what? Make money. Okay, so we trying to make money. So if you're not having customers or bringing customers, and they're not being told about the event over and over again for at least, I would say, at least 3 to 4 to 6 weeks in advance of the market, it's, unless it's a high traffic area, that may not be a good market for you to do. So like when you go on their social media, that's the first thing I would do. If you see a market and it's advertised, you want to go and check out their website, check out their social media, check out old YouTube videos for the previous year's event, and check it out. See what the vibe was. See if there were customers. You're looking to see if it looked like a ghost town. Were people there? Were people spending money? Okay. All right, that's the first thing you want to find out. See if you can ask, hey, how are you guys advertising for this event? How many customers are typically expected each year? Most vendors, most people who put on markets and festivals, they know that number, and they've put some money into the market. The ones that are viable and really worth doing, I'll say that. All right, so number 2, the second thing you need to ask is, obviously, what is the vendor fee? All right, now the vendor fees can vary depending on what size booth that you're gonna choose. Sometimes they will allow you to choose just the basic one, and that's all they offer, so that'll just be a flat fee. Here in Atlanta, markets range in price from starting as low as $55 and going up as high as $2,000, just depending on, or maybe $3,000 to $10,000, let me say that, because we have pretty big markets here. And that would be something like the Atlanta Jazz Festival. We've got the Pride festivals. We've got a lot of really big festivals, and they know they're guaranteed to bring the crowd. All right, so you want to find out how much it is. Is it refundable is the third question. All right, is my vendor fee refundable in the event of rain, an act of God, if there's just like a major hurricane, and then also everything blew down, and then also everything caught on fire, and then also there was just like a tornado all in the same day? Can I get my money back? Like, you want to ask that question. All right, typically they'll say no, but I found that the more I guess the people who do festivals, they understand that they will give you your money back. Like, if they are people who have done markets before, they understand that. We're going to do rain checks, no problem. But the people who are just kind of like, no, they will say there are no rain checks. So make sure you read the refund policy. Also, if you're going through channels like Eventini, I'll put the link in the bio. Eventini does have insurance for some of their events if the people who have started, who are posting the event, open it up for insurance. And that way, if anything happens, you get sick, you can't go, or there is rain and they cancel it, then they will refund your money. And then you just have to check and see how much the insurance cost, and see if it's cost effective for you to get the insurance. But it's really, really important that you find out these things, beforehand. The other thing that I would suggest that you ask is see if you can talk or email the person who's in charge. Get an idea of who that person is, especially if this is like a recurring market that you're planning on doing. Say if it's farmers markets, you want to go every weekend, every month. If there's a market that you love and it's just going to be every week, you have to be able to, number one, get along with that person, and kind of figure out if that person is a good person to work with, because you want to be able to get along well with that person. So kind of get to know that person, and you want to present your business in the best light as possible. The next thing, this is number 5, you want to find out if the market is where you have to cart in your stuff, or is the market one where you get to pull your car or your van or your truck right up to your booth space. Those are the optimal types of festivals, markets, whatever that you want to do. It's very rare that I'll do a market where I have to cart in my stuff. I'm asking specifics like, how far is it for the cart in? Where is parking? That's your next one. Do you provide parking? Do you validate parking? Is there a designated parking area for vendors, or am I just having to walk down, Peachtree Street and find my own parking, and then in the dead of night go and get my car, and I'm already like dog tired, and now I'm also scared. Like, let me know up front, how does this work? So a lot of the festivals here, they will have designated parking, and I do like it when they have that. There was one market that I did, they did not validate parking, and parking was literally $20 a day. So, and then the market was 3 days. So off rip, you're out $60. They did not discuss that in advance. Okay, they were just like, yes, there's a parking deck available. Obviously I'm thinking, okay, so you're going to validate the parking. I'm just not thinking, I messed up on that one. So that's why I'm letting you guys know, if they are saying parking is off site, do you validate parking? Is the parking near the venue? Will I have to walk a country mile to get to my car? Because remember, you're doing a market, you're going to be tired. You're going to be out there 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. And then have to go get your car, come back, load your car. This is hard work. All right, so you want to make sure that you find out about that. All right, the second thing is, are there any additional fees? Is there an application fee? If there's an application fee, is that fee applied if I am accepted? All right, a lot of times the application fee will be $15, $20, $30, $50. Sometimes it's they give it back to you and they will apply it if you're accepted, other times not. There also, another question you want to find out is if this is a juried festival. That means that they may have a jury of people that they use to judge every entry or every application that comes in for that particular market. So for example, most art festivals are juried. So Chambly Art Festival, the Atlanta Art Festival, the one that they have out at the park, at Chastain Art Festival. Most of when you see those, they're usually juried. So they're looking for a specific level of artistic expression, a certain level of professionalism, a level of elegance. They're looking for what they're looking for. And whether or not you are that type of artist or you represent what they need, you won't know until the jury looks at it. All right. And then, so what you submit in the application is really important during those types of applications. All right, so if they're saying that it's a juried market, don't send your worst pictures that had no lighting, or your whole table was just kind of like wrinkled, and like it was just broke down that day. Like that is not the picture you want to submit, okay, guys? So if you're doing a juried festival application, make sure that you send your very best photos in. You're going to upload them usually. You're going to upload your very best photos, and make sure it's in a category that they are requesting. All right, and so for those, you typically don't get the money back, the application fee back, and they are typically more expensive booth fees. All right, I think that's everything that I can think of right now about what to ask. Also, oh, I know one. The last one, ask around. Ask your fellow market friends. Go around to markets that you're considering doing. So especially if there's one that's being held every week, every other month or something, and if you see someone posted that they were there last year, maybe someone that you admire, and you look at their page and they did that event last month, last year, ask them, send them a message, say, hey, how was this market? How did you do? What would you say about the demographic of the customers? What, were they spending, or was this just a look-see type crowd? Would you recommend this event? For me, I'm thinking about applying this year. Like, ask around, and then most vendors who've done it will tell you up front. They'll be like, I did not make any money. Like, I barely made my booth rent back, because there will be times like that. So always ask around. Look on socials. That's very important. Check all of the people who are putting on these markets. Look at their social media and read the comments. If people are not commenting and like excited about the event, that's probably not going to be a good event. I've found that smaller events, like in small towns, depending on what you're looking to make, which you need to decide that, like what you're looking to make per market. But for me, in the Metro Atlanta area, the smaller hometown events just don't align with my demographic and my target market, I should say. It's just never been really good for me. So I do travel to go to meet my demographic, to meet my target market. I know where they are, I know who they are, and I know where I need to be. You need to kind of figure that out. Like, you got to know what customer wants your products. Once you figure out your demographic and who your target market is, who your customer is, then you'll know which markets to choose. And then once you know which markets to choose, you're going to then apply all of these questions that we just went over. And then you're going to knock them down from there. All right? Because a lot of markets, especially in the Atlanta area, really it's a money grab. They really don't do as much advertising as they should. They're getting the money from the vendors to put on the event. So that is the thing that happens. So you want to look at the caliber of the type of event, look at the history behind the event, if they've done them for a while, what type of success have they had in the past, check with other people, ask the questions that need to be asked. If you can find out that information in advance, that will be the best thing. All right, I hope this has been of value to you guys, and if so, I would love for you guys to like, share, comment, all of those things. Let me know if you guys are in the Atlanta area or where you are doing markets. I would love to know how markets are going for you in your area. All right, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.